Hi, and welcome to this week's general reading. Okay, so regardless of what time you're watching this, we're talking about the next 7 days, okay? So, we're looking at motifs, so we're looking at themes, we're looking at what to expect, if this is going to be a week where you're focusing a lot on school or work, or maybe it's relationships, or maybe it's something else. We're hoping to make some predictions and just basically see what kind of week you have in store for you. I post these every week on Monday, so if you want to keep seeing readings every week, then you can subscribe. I also do pick a card readings on Wednesdays and Fridays as well. So anything you need to know about me is going to be in the description. That, like if you want to book a private reading, for example, if you need to get a hold of me, my email's there, the timestamps are there. And speaking of timestamps, I also add a news timestamp as well, so that I don't waste your time at the beginning here, so that if you want to find out basically what's been going on with me and the business and all of that kind of stuff, you can go forward to that by clicking on that timestamp once you've seen your reading, okay? So that said, let's go ahead and pick the piles, okay? So pile number 1 is the pink butterfly. Pile number 2 is a green butterfly. Pile number 3 is a white butterfly. Pile number 4 is the blue butterfly. Pile number 5 is the red butterfly, and pile number 6 is the purple butterfly. So now that I have named the piles, go ahead and pause the video if you have not picked. Otherwise, we are going to start with pile number 1, the pink butterfly. Hi, those of you who picked the pink butterfly, here is your reading. All right, so we have 10 of, I'm just going to put this over here. We've got the 10 of Pentacles, the 8 of Wands, the Emperor. Okay, we've got the first card is the Mountain, followed by the Snake. Okay, we've got Voyage here, and we have Happy Family. All right. This is an interesting reading. We've got a little bit of everything going on this week for those of you who picked this pile. So let's go ahead and start here. It looks like finances and material stuff is going to be pretty decent this week, okay? In fact, you might get something positive out of this week. In other words, like maybe a gift, maybe you'll find something that you really want to purchase, maybe you will get more money, something like that. But it's just things are fortunate when it comes to finances and material possessions, okay? This can also have to do with like manifesting exactly what you want as well. Typically, I don't get that from this card, but for this week, I'm getting that for those of you who are watching this week, that's what this is going to signify for some of you, okay? We do have also that just you've got a lot going on, okay? It's like I don't know, if you have 24 hours in a day to get things done, you've got 25 hours of scheduled time that you need to do things, basically. So understand it's okay if you can't get everything done this week. Just know that it's just going to be kind of a fast-paced week, in that you're going to just have a lot to do. On the positive side, that means a lot of really nice peaceful sleep, and that you're going to be spending so much of your energy this week taking care of things and completing tasks and things like that, that you're not going to really feel so much of like anxiety or stress so much. I mean, you might feel like real tired by the end of the day, but I'm getting that it's like you're burning energy in a positive way. So whatever it is that you're doing, it's going to be less on the overwhelming side and more on the side of just like, you're just knocking down all the things that you want to get taken care of. You're making things happen, is another thing. You also might feel particularly creative this week. So take advantage of that. If you're a creative type of person, or that is a major thing for your vocation or for school, or maybe you're an artist on the side, something like that, know that it would be a good week for that kind of stuff. with the Emperor, typically I get with the Emperor this kind of like need to control things. But with you guys, it's like it's more like you're feeling in control this week, okay? I feel like you are also in a place where you're able to observe a lot of people and you're gathering a lot of information about people, but it's like more like kind of factual, concrete information rather than abstract information. Like you're noticing things about people that are things like, for example, oh, this is my friend's schedule, and it's like it's easy to remember that, or remembering something like, oh, maybe there's a birthday this week, for example. That's what I mean by factual. What I would mean by non-factual would be something like, oh, I'm observing that this person seems to feel this way. It's like that's not really a fact. It's just it's what you think that they feel, but it's like for you, these are going to be facts, and that's what I mean. Also, you might run into an Aries this week. I'm just pointing that out because this is the card for Aries. But basically, I feel like this is just in all areas you're feeling in control and you're feeling really comfortable with that control. Again, I'm just getting like if I'm getting anything, it's like non-anxiety this week, okay? Especially for those of you who typically feel anxious. We've got happy family right here. So what I feel like is there's going to be two aspects to this. One is that you're just going to either have not very much contact with your family, or the contact that you will have is going to be very pleasant, okay? Or some kind of promise that somebody made, somebody in your family is going to be paying off, or something that they said they're going to do it this week. All right. So here's something that's a really interesting combination of cards. We've got the Mountain, which typically represents a block, but it can also represent an obstacle. And then we've got the Snake. Now, I feel like it's important for you guys to know that the Snake can signify the woman, the second woman in a third party situation. Not always, but it can. And so I just want to mention that. I'm not getting anything extra on that, just being told that I need to mention that because some of you guys might want to know, might need to know that. Other than that, basically what I'm getting is that either somebody who's really problematic is going to block you, like on social media or something like that, or this is more likely for you guys. It seems like there's going to be an obstacle involving like a difficult person, somebody who might like I'm just getting like a toxic person. And again, I'm not getting like male or female. The third party situation thing, that's just for those people that applies to. What I'm getting is more like there might be a toxic person in your life, not family, that maybe tries to hurt you or tries to get in your way, that kind of thing. It's weird because the whole energy is like you're really not taking things as seriously this week, or it's just things are rolling off your shoulders a lot but easier. So it's not, I don't feel like it's even going to upset you that much, just that it's going to happen. So just be aware of that. Be aware that there might be somebody in your life that's just a little, just gonna like a little difficult, maybe really difficult, that's gonna just kind of get in your way, okay? And that's all I'm really getting there. It's just they're going to get in your way. Also, I'm getting, actually, there's one other thing, that this is going to be more towards the end of the week rather than the beginning, okay? For most of you, it's going to be towards the end. So we also have Voyage here. So this is your advice card. There's like the kind of more grand sweeping idea that you are on a journey, in this life, and this is part, what happens this week is part of the journey. I do feel like some of you guys might be planning trips or might be planning to travel and that kind of stuff, or somebody somebody might be traveling to see you this week, or might be making plans to travel to see you. Because I feel like this is kind of in the beginning, like making plans when it comes to that physical stuff. So just be aware of that. It feels like this is going to, it feels like there's something very important emotionally about this travel, if it's travel for you guys. Otherwise, you guys might go, like, even if it's down the street, you might go somewhere where you have a very emotional experience. Okay, because remember, we're reading for a week, we're not reading for the whole year or anything like that. So the voyage could be a short one. It could even be like walking around in nature, something like that. But whatever it is, the advice is to do this. The advice is to pursue times where you can move from one place to the other, and also that it's going to have some kind of effect on your mood, but it's like a positive one. Or if it doesn't feel so positive, it's going to lead you to a better place. Okay. And sometimes I'll get a voyage, like kind of like your mental space will be different. That's not what I'm getting. I'm getting literal travel. So this is being interpreted literally for me this week. All right, guys. So that looks like a pretty good week. We've got some problems here, but it does look like it's a pretty good week. And regardless, I hope you have a wonderful one. And if you need me, you know where to find me. Thank you. All right, those of you who picked the green butterfly, here is your reading. Okay, so we have purification, right? We have the 3 of Cups, the 3 of Pentacles, and the Hermit. That's interesting. An interesting energy here. We have, I'm trying to think. Yeah, this is actually the first one. The fox followed by the birds. Okay. And then we have walking away. All right, so it's interesting because what I'm getting here is just a bunch of things that aren't really that connected, but just like it's like one statement, one statement, one statement. So we're just going to kind of go through that. It's interesting that we've got 2 3s in this. So I want to say around the middle of the week, right in the middle, is going to be the most important time for you. So about 3 days from now, that's going to be when it's going to, if anything major happens, that's when it's going to be. Okay, so we have this kind of pull here between the 3 of Cups, which typically is like wanting to go out or being invited out, that kind of thing, and the Hermit that really is wanting to withdraw, and all of that kind of stuff. I feel like there's going to be a balance there, but the Hermit energy is much stronger because it's a major arcana. So don't be afraid to cancel plans if you need that, because you need to be looking within and finding your own way right now. Okay, so just know it's almost like you'll have opportunities to socialize, but know that you don't have to take them. Okay, that's kind of like the message there. We also have some feedback at either work or school, something having to do with your vocation, or maybe even a hobby. This is it. It feels positive, but if there's anything, it feels positive in that it leads you to do a better job. But for some of you, it's going to feel critical, and so just understand that whoever's giving you that feedback, they're either being asked to, or they feel like it's their job to give you that feedback. Okay, and again, I really feel like this would be a person who's in an appropriate position to give you feedback. I'm not talking like your friend's going to call you up and tell you, well, your entire wardrobe is just a mess, and you've got to like buy new clothes or anything. It's not going to be like that. It would be something like a teacher getting a hold of their student, or or a boss, or even a coworker maybe, talking about how to, help a project. It could be a friend, but it's just getting, whatever it is, it's like, it's appropriate. Like you're asking your friend for feedback, or you're getting feedback from a publisher that you need to do more editing before they can publish your book, that kind of thing. So the Hermit energy, again, is going to be the more predominant energy. You're just going to feel like you really want to spend time within yourself. And I feel like for some of you guys that have picked this pile, not all of you, but for some of you, it is going to be a real kind of push and pull feeling, because normally you're not feeling as like to withdraw as much or nearly as solitary as you're going to be feeling this week. So just kind of be prepared for that feeling that you're going to really want to do some personal reflection and that kind of stuff. It's okay. Just, I don't think that it can become unhealthy in a week, but the withdrawal is so profound that, keep yourself in check, that you're not completely neglecting the outside world as well. Okay. Part of this might have to do with you just walking away from something that's not serving you right now. This could be something as small as throwing something out that, are, maybe replacing something, that you need to get rid of, or something really major, like walking out of a relationship or something, something like that. Or maybe even moving abroad, that kind of thing. Whatever it is, you are going to find that you're going to need to walk away from something that you're attached to. But as you're walking away, that you're doing it for the best, and you're not feeling like a whole lot of pain because of that. It's like you're walking into the light, into happiness, rather than having to get rid of something or walk away from something that gives you happiness. Okay. So it's a feel good walking away, not something like, if you're in a really attached relationship, for example, you're not going to be walking away from that. If it's a good, positive relationship, you'd be walking away from something that you really are done with it, that kind of thing. Okay, so we have the fox and the bird. So I kind of feel like this might be an echo of this, just that we have a coworker or somebody involved in your vocation, maybe your hobby at school, whatever you're doing to kind of get yourself into that place financially where you want to be, and that kind of stuff. And then we've got them talking. We've got these birds talking a lot, and maybe even feeling a little anxious here. So I feel like you're getting feedback from a coworker here, or you're getting feedback from a classmate, or someone like that. Another thing that might. No, I'm not getting that. I'm going to go ahead and tell you what I was thinking, but then I was getting, no, this is not it. So I feel like for like those of you who are wondering, who are really familiar with Lynn Norman, I'm not getting that somebody's going to try to lie. I'm not getting that somebody's lying to you, or somebody's misleading you, or anything like that. So if you're worried that maybe there's, some kind of clever, foxy person out there that's trying to feed you lies or something, that's not at all what this means. That's not at all. I was thinking, well, that could be what it means, but I was getting no, that's not what it is. So yeah, just basically like that, coworker or fellow student, maybe even a friend. Basically somebody that you spend time around with your vocation, giving you some feedback, or just talking a lot. You might actually just be overhearing some gossip, that kind of stuff. I feel like even though this is connected, I feel like this is a separate event. Okay, so also keep that in mind as well. So this purification card, this is your advice card this week, and given that we have the Hermit, and you see him holding this, he's got a star, and he's holding it in his lantern. It's basically, he's seeking his own path. He's seeking his own direction. He's trying to look inside of himself for what to do next. Okay. And then we've got this purification. I feel like, especially given this energy over here, that people on the outside are really affect you, okay? And their feedback and criticism and their maybe gossip, they're inviting you out and all of that. It's kind of getting to a point where internally you're feeling a little cloudy, okay? So this week is going to be a time where you're purifying yourself, kind of emptying yourself out from all of the stuff you don't need. It's almost like you're tidying up inside. And because of that, you're going to be feeling so much more clear by the end of the week. And that probably is what leads to walking away as well. Is just that you're going to recognize, well, here's the things that I need, and here's the things that I really don't need. And a better way of saying it is really like, I don't want, so kind of keep that in mind. Overall, it's just, you've got so much going on. I'm not getting that it's going to be an overwhelming week or anything. You've just got a lot of things going on from different areas. So yeah, just kind of keep that in mind. It looks like it's a full week, just want to say, regardless of what the cards say, I hope you have a wonderful one, and I hope you enjoyed your reading. Hi, those of you who picked the white butterfly, here's your reading. Okay, so we have Goddess of the Moon. We've got Freedom, the Hierophant. Okay, the Two of Wands, the Ace of Wands. Okay, and then we have the Stars and the Rider. How nice. There's just like a lot of different kinds of energy here, and it just feels it feels calm for me. It might not be calm for you, but it feels calm for me. This would be the kind of week that I'd want. So yeah, between the Hierophant and the Two of Wands, we've got a lot of energy being put into learning things, okay? So either you're going to be learning and researching things, it might be formally or it might be on your own, or you're just going to become, I see this card as a worldly card, okay? And I think that this came up last week. So if you're one of those people that picked the pile with this card in it last week, it's just a continuation of that spirit this week as well. So yeah, we've got the Hierophant, is a teacher, so this is going to be a real major aspect, okay? And it's something you're really passionate about because we've got these red colors, and it just feels like it's something you're you're just really into. So you might just find that you spend like 3 or 4 hours clicking around on Wikipedia, that kind of thing. Although it does seem, it actually seems more serious than that. It seems like it's something you're really taking heart. Sometimes this card can also talk about learning new languages as well. Okay. We've got the Ace of Wands, speaking of something new. So we do have something new coming up in a creative pursuit, something like that. Some of you guys might have projects that you have been kind of putting off, but you want to start working on, or maybe that you've put on the shelf and you want to take it back down. Now would be the time to get back to work on that, or to start a new project, like this week, but it does feels like you're going to be inspired a lot this week. Okay. And again, it's a very intellectually, stimulating feeling. Like it's intellectually exciting. That's a better word. Yeah, it's like this fiery intellect, like feeling like you're really excited about this thing. So I'm actually interested if there is like a topic that you're really getting into right now, like going through a phase or whatever. I'm actually interested in what that is for you, because like I go through phases all the time. Sometimes they're longer than others. Like one of the phases I went through for years, and this was before COVID, I was obsessed with plague, with Yersinia pestis. That's the actual name of the bacteria that causes plague, and I just learned everything I could about it. It was really great. But anyway, yeah, I'd be interested in whatever that thing is for you. So we've got Goddess of the Moon. That's kind of a weird card, but this is kind of energy that's going to be around you this week. And so when we're talking about this, we're talking about intuition. We're talking about feeling a little bit more creative and active at night. Okay, so if you're not getting as much sleep at night, try to either take a nap or just be aware that maybe you're going to have to take it a little bit more easy during the day, because you might be feeling more prone to stay awake at night. That's not going to be for all of you, but for some of you, it's going to be like that. This is also talking about, it's really talking about connection with your intuition. And I feel like even though we have the moon being referenced in this and all of that, I feel like this is like constantly, like during the day and during the night, you're going to be really in touch with that. It's just when we have certain schedules and certain things that we do during the day, intuition kind of doesn't have a chance to present itself. But it's when we're winding down, as we're going off to sleep and all of that, that's when we're really, really receptive to that kind of, to those messages. And so that's why, intuition typically is more associated with the nighttime. And also, the moon is definitely a symbol for that. And it has been for hundreds, probably thousands of years. But yeah, we're just talking about like, you're going to be real intuitive, really, really intuitive. Some of your intuitions might actually kind of get you down a little bit, but you're going to be real accurate. Just know that. Very accurate. So there's this element of destiny here. This is not having to do with this stuff. I don't even think it's something you're going to be able to predict. You might have a feeling, but I mean, I don't even feel like this is going to have to do with your intuition. But there's this feeling of destiny or fate having to do with a message. It's like, and the message, typically, the writer talks about messages that are coming really quick, right? So I want to say for most of you, this is probably going to be more towards the beginning of the week than the end. But it's like, there's going to be, I mean, what I'm getting literally is a destined or a fated message to you, okay? This could be something subtle like a synchronicity. If it is, I feel like the synchronicity is not going to be two things. It's going to be like 3 or 4 things, all together at once, basically. Or for most of you, it's actually going to be a literal message from maybe a friend, maybe who you're in a romantic relationship. It's just, there's going to be a message that's going to be really important for you to know. And when you get it, you're going to know that's what I was talking about. Then we have freedom. I really like this for this whole spread, because when I personally think about freedom, I think about free time, and then I think, oh, I love to read, right? And so, we're talking about learning and all of that, but I feel like this encompasses so much more than just that. Yes, it's like your mind is free to really roam. I just feel like your internal dialogue is going to be a lot more profound, but we also have just, you're feeling like you can do anything, like you can accomplish anything. There's something additional than just the word freedom that's coming through for me in this card. It's like, there's freedom, yes, but there's also like, you're aware that anything could happen. It's like you're aware that, it's like you're autonomous. Like you can make things happen, and you have like you're free to make whatever you want, basically. This week feels really good for me again. Now that's going to depend on the person, maybe like if you want this week to be more about relationships, maybe it's not such a great reading for you, but I feel like this is a very positive week, regardless. It's going to be a positive one based on the cards. And no matter what the cards say, I hope you have a wonderful one. I hope you enjoyed your reading. Thank you so much for joining me for it, and I will see you on Wednesday. Hi, those of you who picked the blue butterfly, here is your reading. Okay, we have focus, the 9 of Pentacles, the King of Swords, the 7 of Cups. This has been coming up a lot in readings lately, I've noticed. Oh, how interesting. This combination has come up also a lot in readings. We've got a friend, and, well, we've got the dog followed by the cross, and then all tied up. Okay, so you're going to be very busy this week. The important thing, when we get really busy, sometimes we can get overwhelmed and our minds will get like muddled and all of that. So your advice is to focus on just one thing at a time. And even if it feels like you want to multitask a whole bunch, understand that if you focus on one thing at a time and you do each thing slowly and deliberately, you'll actually get it done faster than if you try to multitask and rush. Okay. And I know that seems counterintuitive, okay? But this all tied up card really highlights the idea that when we have a lot of things going on, we get less efficient and we get confused about things and all of that. I would say even this week, you might be more prone to making mistakes, okay? So just be aware of that. You are going to be able to experience a little bit of luxury this week, which is kind of interesting. So this would look like maybe going to a nice, or ordering from a nice restaurant maybe, or maybe having a spa day if you're like me, or just really being able to feel like you're pampering yourself, okay? And I feel like if you don't have anything like like actively planned for this, you may want to try to plan that, you know, because it feels like this is something that is really needed for you. Okay. So the Seven of Cups is just kind of like, echoing this all tied up card with just telling us that you're going to have a lot of stuff going on, you know, in your head. And, you know, and with the clouds here, I feel like it could get really cloudy and all of that. Understand I'm reading this particular card very intuitively with this reading. Sometimes I read it more in the traditional way, but what I'm getting more is just, there's just a lot going on. You're getting kind of cloudy about it. And it's like you just need to do one thing at a time instead of looking at all, basically 7 cups at the same time. Take each cup in its own turn and get that stuff done. The King of Swords lets us know that you're already going to kind of be in that mindset. You're going to be feeling very wise. You're going to be feeling, I mean, as long as you are employing this kind of this deliberate action, you're going to be feeling clear-headed too. You also might be feeling a little bit, for those of you who are less extroverted or people who are introverted, you also might be feeling like you want to reach out to somebody or just connect with somebody, even if it's just like in chat, you know, or something kind of informal is what I'm saying, you know. But just know that if you feel that, go ahead and reach out to somebody, if you know, just to ask them how they're doing or something like that, because it feels like there's there's like a conversation that wants to happen, okay? And so it feels like you might need to take the lead on that. So here we have the dog followed by the cross, okay? Now, for most of you, this is going to be a friend that has some spiritual advice. For those of you who got this same combination last week, make sure that whatever was going on last week, that was the dog and cross for you, is still going to be affecting you this week. Okay. And again, most likely it's going to be a friend with spiritual advice. It's going to be very, very timely, very, very good. For some of you, it's going to be a friend that's a burden. Okay, a friend that gives you something that's a burden for you. For some of you, it's actually going to be both. Like the friend both offers you spiritual advice, but that spiritual advice is going to kind of feel like it's weighing you down. Regardless, this thing really wants to happen. So this friend might be particularly persistent. And I'm also getting, for some of you, those of you who got this twice, it's going to be it was one thing last week and it's going to be the other this week. Okay. So kind of keep that in mind. It's kind of interesting. But yeah, this focus, I mean, I feel like, yes, focus is the right word. But another way of saying this could be like attention. Like your attention is going to be demanded. Okay. Those of you who, are not neurotypical, I wouldn't worry about this as far as like maybe for those of you who have any kind of conditions or disabilities that get in the way of your ability to focus, okay? And I just want to say I'm one of those people, okay? No, I don't have ADHD, but I do have other mental disorders that can interfere with my ability to think clearly. Just know that it's so important to take one thing at a time this week, so do keep that in mind. I'm also getting like this other like kind of thing about this is that you're going to be feeling also very observant this week as well. So kind of keep that in mind as well. You will be able to observe more than you typically are. Okay, so even those of you who are very, very perceptive, you're going to be feeling even more perceptive. All right, guys, so this looks like a pretty full week, and regardless of what the cards say, I hope you have a wonderful one. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. I appreciate it, and if you need me, you know where to find me in that description. Hi, those of you who picked the red butterfly, here's your reading. We have relaxation, the Page of Swords, the Page of Wands. Okay, we have the Two of Swords. We have the lilies followed by the bear, and then we have the thinking man. Okay, now I want to kind of mention here, the thinking man can, yes, it can symbolize a particularly intellectual male in your life, yes. But I feel like for you guys, this is more like the energy of masculine thinking, okay? So regardless if you're male or female or you know, whatever your gender is, it's just showing that there's going to be a lot of masculine thinking in your life right now, like this week. It's going to be more logical, more moving forward, more maybe even aggressive, that kind of thing. When I talk about masculine thinking, I think more about ways of solving problems, fixing things like that. Okay, so just understand that that's going to be going on. Doesn't surprise me given that you have 2 sword cards coming up. The problem here, though, I mean, if you want to call it a problem, is that we don't have these thoughts, or even with the Page of Wands, this creativity, we don't have it particularly refined at this point. It's like I feel like these 3 cards are all talking about, it's like you're going to have some ideas. The ideas might have to do with a creative pursuit. It might have to do with communication. It might even have to do with like an argument that you've had. Because people can certainly get passionate about arguments and say some cutting things, right? But what it is, it's like it's almost like you're in a draft state this week, okay? It's like it's not quite time to take action. You're probably gonna be feeling like taking action, but it's not gonna be the right time to take action. You still have to kind of let these feelings develop before you can move forward, and that's why you're gonna feel a little uncomfortable, because you'll know a decision needs to be made, but you're not gonna really feel. I mean, you could make it this week if you want, but it feels to me like it's not the right time. Or it's not the best time, or if you do make the decision, it'll come out a little sloppy. So if you're one of those people who pick this pile that's like, no, I've got to do something this week about this thing, I know what you're talking about, go ahead and do it. Just know that you're going to have to give a little on that refinement, okay? You've just got to get it done. For those of you who have the ability to wait, go ahead and wait for whatever these ideas are. I mean, they're going to be predominating this week, though. So, I mean, it'll be very clear after a few days what I'm talking about. Yeah, you know, wait to make that decision, because it's just not the appropriate time right now. Also, I feel like even though you're very, like, you're going to be very cerebral this week about this situation. And it's almost like, if you see how she's got her arms crossing her heart area, you know, I feel like you're not going to really have the full scope of the emotional atmosphere of whatever's going on, which is another reason why I mentioned the masculinity with this thought. It's not that, it's not the kind of feminine thinking that is more relational, you know, and more trying to figure out how to make the best decision for everybody involved and stuff like that, you know. It's more, the emotions there are also either not developed or not being looked at this week, and that's the appropriate thing to do. All right. So we've got the lilies and the bear here. I feel like this is going to be some kind of gesture from someone who might be older than you, most likely a family member. It could be a boss, but I feel like it's a family member or somebody who feels like they're in your family, but probably somebody who's older than you is going to either give you some kind of gift, or they're going to just give you some really good advice, or, you know, they're going to take some time for you and they're going to give you something valuable. Okay, the lilies typically mean something pure, something innocent and that kind of stuff. But it's like, I feel like it's also like it's a gift the way that a bouquet could be a gift, you know, that kind of thing too. So I feel like whatever is going on here is going to be a very, it's almost like this kind of, nurture feeling, okay? And I'm also getting, for a lot of you, it's going to be a female, okay? So keep that in mind. And then we've got relaxation. So all of this time you're going to be spending thinking about whatever this is, and it could be multiple things. Make sure that physically you're relaxing this week, because physically, I'm just not getting that you're going to have a whole lot of, you're not going to be taxed a whole lot physically. And this includes people who typically exercise and all of that. I'm not telling you not to exercise. Do that. Definitely take care of yourself. But if you have a small injury, this card is giving you the advice to, maybe take it easy. Even if you think that maybe you should go ahead and get that full workout in, take it easy. Maybe try something a little bit more just less of an impact, because a small injury could get really a lot worse this week for you guys without this relaxation. Okay, so give yourself some time, because this is an important aspect this week, is for you to just find time to relax, or at least pretend to relax, try to relax. Okay. So overall, it looks like, in a weird way, it looks like an uneventful week, but you are still getting a lot done, because you're developing some kind of really great creative idea, or something that you want to communicate, something like that. You're developing it this week, and it's going to end up being a big deal, later on. Okay, guys? All right, so I hope you liked your reading, regardless of what the cards say. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you on Wednesday. Thank you guys so much. Hi, those of you who picked the purple butterfly, here is your reading. So we have Patience, we have Justice, the Knight of Cups, and the Ten of Wands. We have, this is the first card. We have the Tower, followed by the Moon. Okay, ooh, and we have some envy here. Okay. So, it's interesting that we have envy, because with envy, typically things aren't fair, or they feel unfair, right? When you have envy going on. Yet, I feel like in this case, even if things are fair, there's still going to be something. It's either going to be you, or people are going to be envious of you. And you guys might be like, oh, well, that's great. That's, thanks for being so specific. But I just want to say, I wanted to mention both, because it's important to mention it, so that you guys know that for some of you it's going to be one way, and for some of you it's going to be another. What this envy has to do with, I don't do this very often, but I actually feel like I need to get okay, what does this envy have to do with? Oh, wow. Okay. I do want to pick a specific card as well, though. Okay, this one. All right. Wow. I really don't typically ask clarifiers, but we'll get to this, okay? I'm just going to put these right here. I'm not going to touch them. Just let's go ahead and get the rest of the reading done, okay? So we have Justice. Justice typically has to do with things being fair, for me, at least, when I get this. But I'm getting also that there's an element of truth that's coming out, like the truth is coming to light. Somebody is going to give you their emotional truth, okay? And it might not feel like it's true to you. I'm just saying that because I feel like you guys, the people who pick this pile, might be particularly skeptical for some reason, but they're going to be honest with you. Somebody is being honest with you. Somebody that you have a deep, probably profoundly emotional connection with, most likely a romantic person, but this could be a friend, is going to be offering you their truth. They're going to be very candid. They're going to be they will be willing to expose themselves to the extreme, and they will be willing to basically tell you anything. And I don't mean like tell you anything that you want to hear. I don't mean like that, but they'd be willing to tell you anything about what you're interested in order for you to know what the truth is in whatever situation, okay? So it's really important for you to take seriously the fact that this person's being honest, okay? We also still have, some of you might have gotten this last week, we also still have like a project's been completed, and it's like you kind of want to hold on to that before you let it go, or before you share that with people. I'm really getting that there's something that needs to be shared, though. It's like there's a lot of creativity, and there's a lot of it might even be kind of like passionate that you're just really holding on to, that really needs to be let out. That might actually have to do with this person. It might be related, okay? Just that they're going to be very honest with you and open with you, and it's fair, right? Because we've got justice. It's more fair if you are also open with them, okay? I feel like for some of you, this is going to be a big challenge, though, to let go of whatever it is that you're holding on to. It could be maybe even a matter of pride, like admitting that maybe you were wrong, or it could be something more like, I really want to keep my feelings close and my creativity close, and I don't want people to know this, So understand it's okay to be vulnerable. So yeah, we've got the Tower and then the Moon. So it's interesting because the way that I interpret this is that we have, first off, some of you guys might work for a corporation, but I feel like if you do, you will have some opportunities to work from home, like opportunities that you didn't have previous, okay? For the rest of you guys, you might find a new thing to do for money that's working from home, okay? And then the third way of interpreting this, and I think that this might be a both thing for you guys, like it might be a work from home and take some time to be alone this week. And I've actually gotten this message for, I believe, 2 other piles. So it's kind of, this is more of a global thing, or more of a collective message, it seems like. But make sure that you're taking some time to be alone, to think about your goals, and to also just do some reflection. Like I'm just getting kind of like some soul searching, that kind of thing. So that's also coming forward here. Yeah, so keep that in mind. So, and then we also have the Patience card. This is your advice card. It's a difficult card to look at, but because, well, at least it is for me. I'm not a very patient person by nature, but the Patience card here is just letting you know that it's time right now to do certain things, but it's not time for some of the other things to happen, okay? There might be something you're really hoping is going to happen soon. I actually feel like it might have to do with finances. It might have to be like, gosh, when am I going to start making more money or feeling more secure here? For some of you, it might be a love relationship, but it's like, it's just saying it's not the right time yet. It's just not there yet, okay? Not this week. So yeah, let's look at this envy card. So we have this feeling that some people might be double dealing with you, or I see what it is. No, it's they're treating somebody else in a way that's different than they're treating you, and you feel like you should be treated better. Yeah, so keep that in mind. We also have like some passion here. This is very weird. I typically don't get things that are this specific. This person that you might be envious of, okay, would be like a woman that's probably a cat person. I know that's so specific, and I try to stay away from that. But yeah, a woman that might be a cat person, somebody with darker skin even, somebody who has otherwise given you a lot of attention previously. But yeah, there might be like, I don't know, I want to say some kind of crazy cat lady that's going to be influencing you a lot. That's going to stir up some feelings of envy. I don't feel like this would be the person that's envious of you, though. Okay, we have the Ace of Cups, like jealousy over the beginning of new emotions. Okay, I feel like this is something that other people would envy for you. It might be this person coming forward with their emotions, their emotional truth. Okay, and then we also get the Five of Swords, which I always interpret, well, almost always interpret as this kind of lose-lose situation. It's kind of like, I feel like this one is something like, for those of you who this one applies to, it's more like, I just wish things could be better. I just wish things could be different in a different way. It's kind of like the grass is greener kind of feeling. And I feel like for those of you who are experiencing envy in this way, it's more of a it's more of like a feeling that things should be better, but it's just not the right time. So I feel like for those of you who this applies to, it's kind of like it's not the right time for you to get whatever it is that you want, or to reach that point where things are going to get better. Just understand it's just not going to all happen at once. It's going to take some more time. Regardless, I just want to stress again, I usually do not ask clarifying questions with my reading. So it's really important that you know that I really wanted to make sure I was giving the correct advice and the correct interpretation of this card. Okay, guys? So hopefully that resonates. Regardless of how your week goes, I hope you have a wonderful, regardless of what the cards say, I hope you have a wonderful week. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you need me, you just look at that description. You can get a hold of me. All right. Okay, guys. So, thank you so much for looking at the news here. Just want to go ahead and let you know I'm taking appointments for this week, and we've got chat readings, and we have like text readings, and then we also have voice readings. Okay, both 15 minutes and 25-minute time frames. And if you want that, or if you're interested in that, on Wednesday, we're going to be looking at communication. Okay, we're going to be looking at how to open up communication, basically, or if you're experiencing a situation where your person's holding back, what you can do about that, basically. Okay, and this will be primarily for romantic relationships, but it could be any relationship. Okay. And then on Friday, we have that fun You Ask the Question reading that'll be, I'm looking forward to doing. And that's all I really have to say for today. Be sure to check out my new website. It's MomentsAre.com. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. That's really, and I'm saying that not because, I want a whole bunch of subscribers, although I do. But I'm saying that because it's just, if you enjoy these readings, I post 3 a week at least. Okay. So understand that, I really want to make sure that you guys see them, and that you're getting all the information you can. And for those of you who are already subscribed, and you like and you comment constantly and all of that, thank you so much. All that feedback that I get is so important, and I'm just so thrilled that this whole thing is just going so well. I am so glad that I came back to YouTube. For those of you who don't know, I came back around November of last year, and I'm just so glad that I did. And I'm just so excited about all the stuff that we're going to be doing this year. So I will see you on Wednesday. And until then, I hope you have wonderful days. Thank you so much.